Right now at 5:30, the Badgers are set to face off against the Cougars this weekend. We'll preview the game live from Denver. One Wisconsin city is taking part in hosting the big dance. The reaction from basketball fans from across the country meeting in Milwaukee.
I'm Will Keneally here in Madison. Coming up tonight, we're taking a look at a Wisconsin law that would allow you to bring charges directly to the courthouse here behind me if the district attorney declines to prosecute your case.
Thanks for staying with us, everyone. We welcome you to News 3 now at 6, a smidge early. Eric and Sarah have the night off. The Badgers are getting ready for an exciting matchup against BYU, the BYU Cougars in Denver, Colorado. News 3 is the only local station out west covering the big dance. Let's go live to our sports director, Zach Hanley, who joins us live from Denver with more on the game. Hi, Zach.
Hey, well, so today is actually just the hardest day, right? Because we're just waiting for game day. And when I was talking to the Badgers earlier today, they were like, yeah, we wanted to play BYU as soon as we found out that they were going to be our opponent, which would be yesterday. And while I was interviewing Max Klesmit, well, somebody stole the microphone.
I'm here with Max Klesmit. Max, hey, Max. How special is to have your brother right here next to you in this moment?
I just alluded to it, man. That's what it's all about. Coming to the NCAA tournament, getting your family to come out here and follow you. I'm so grateful, Coach Guard and, the staff, you especially, allowed him to come to practice today. That means a lot to me, being an in-state kid, getting to bring him along.
How does it feel to be able to watch your big brother out here on this stage?
It feels great, man. It's a dream come true. I know he's been dreaming about it for a long time, so we're all happy for him, proud of him, happy to see him tomorrow.
What's your prediction for tomorrow?
Oh, win. That's all. It's a win. Don't matter who plays well, who plays right. It's enough to get a win.
I love to hear it. This is Sharif Chambliss, Channel 3, signing off with the Klesmit brothers. Go, Clay.
Now, he almost got that sound off right, but I will say, he was so excited to do it, Coach Chambliss, that he followed me around in the locker room, and we actually did 3 or 4 more. We'll post those up on our on the Facebook page and channel3000.com. And I guess my job here is done. He's hired as our Denver correspondent, so I'm no longer needed. But Armand, we haven't found your replacement. I'm sorry.
No, what, Zach, you're needed. He doesn't have the hair that you have, man. He's got.
Okay.
There's no one can compare to that. All right. Now, I'm making Zach blush, so I'm going to take over for a minute. Now, the fan experience here in Denver is not just about the game. There are a lot of other players off the court that help make the Badger fan experience the loudest and hypest anywhere. John and Andrea are here with their daughter, a freshman trumpet player for the pep band. Here they are at the Wisconsin bar in town, pumping up the crowd on Wednesday. They say seeing their daughter bring the Badger experience to bars across the country reminds them of their own time as students back in Madison.
It's awesome to see the Wisconsin fans travel well.
Yeah, back to the old days when the Brilliant used to go through the bars and Madison aren't right. So it's the same kind of atmosphere.
Now that atmosphere will be back at Wally's Wisconsin Tavern tomorrow for the pregame pep rally, the second here in Denver for this tournament. And tonight at that bar, there will be a party to watch the women's hockey team play against Minnesota over in Minneapolis. And I'm sure the fans here in Denver are going to be so loud that they can hear them all the way from here. For now, reporting in Denver, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Fun times in the Mile High City. Armand and Zach, thank you so much. And while the Badgers have an off day, as Armand was saying, other teams are going toe-to-toe in Milwaukee. Our Tanasia Shaw spoke to fans that traveled from all over the country to watch the big dance.
Here at the Pfizer Forum, I talked to people from all over, from down south in Nashville all the way up north to Illinois.
Northern Illinois.
Omaha, Nebraska.
I've heard good things about Milwaukee. I've never been. I like to visit new cities, and we've had a great time.
Milwaukee's last time hosting March Madness was in 2017. I talked to fans before tip-off, hoping their team can advance to the next round.
We're feeling great. We're an underdog, which I think plays to our favor, and we have nothing to lose. So we got to make a lot of threes today and hopefully pull off the victory. But it's a home game for Iowa State in here, so it's going to be tough.
Some of them told me that they bought their ticket as soon as they knew their team would play here at Pfizer.
Fans, we don't make the tournament all that often, every 5-10 years, and so I thought it was his first time ever coming to a tournament, so I wanted to bring my son to a first-round game.
We realized they were going to come to Milwaukee if they won, so we're like, I don't know, let's just get tickets and go. It's only a 7-hour drive. We don't get to see them play very often, so.
Others were just lucky.
But we bought the tickets before we knew they were going to be here. We're lucking out that they got placed here. When they announced us, he heard me, had a pretty good scream in the family room.
The winner of Friday's game will come back Sunday to play here at the Pfizer Forum. Reporting in Milwaukee, Tanasia Shaw, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Tanasia. It's going to be a good weekend to stay home and watch some basketball, some rain, maybe even a little snow showers coming this weekend, right, Alex?
For sure, and even Saturday, highs of 40. That's below normal. It will be sunny, so all in all, great weekend to stay inside. And speaking of showers, you got a few on our doorstep off towards the north and west on Radar 3000. They're going to quickly sweep off towards the south and towards the east. Not everyone's going to get wet tonight, but we all stand that chance of having a quick passing shower. Can't rule out a snowflake or two mixing in as it moves off towards the south and towards the east. As a cold front approaches, temperatures are in the 40s to the northwest. We're still hanging on to 57 with no coat on in Madison right now. To the west down the road, 58 in Middleton, 60 in Verona, and 57 to southeast in Edgerton. Planning our evening, there's those few raindrops right around 9 o'clock with temperatures around 45. We'll dip into the 30s, skies will clear, and then we get cold tonight with high temperatures tomorrow after starting off around 20 to 25. We'll get up to 40. How warm will we be on Sunday? And let's break that weather system down that Susan was mentioning of rain mixed in with some wet snow in a few minutes.
All right, Alex, thank you. In other news tonight, the ongoing measles outbreak across 3 states has reached 355 cases. The vast majority of them are in Texas. Most of the state's 309 cases are in Gaines County, where the outbreak was first identified. New Mexico has reported 42 cases. Oklahoma has reported 4 probable cases. Doctors at SSM Health are asking spring break travelers to be vigilant and to get vaccinated.
We recommend everyone to get 2 doses of the measles vaccine. Now, 1 dose of the measles vaccine will give you 93% immunity from the virus, and 2 doses will give you a 97% immunity.
Currently, most of the infections have been in people who hadn't gotten the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine or whose vaccination status is not known. Coming up next on News 3 Now at 5:30, Boeing receives a multi-billion-dollar contract to create the next generation of fighter jets. And changes could soon be coming to Wisconsin's legal system. We'll tell you why Republican lawmakers want to make it harder to prosecute police officers. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
President Trump says the U.S. Air Force will soon have the most advanced fighter jets in the world. Today, the president announced a new $20 billion contract with Boeing to build the Air Force's next generation fighter jets. President Trump says the F-47s will replace the Air Force's F-22 Raptor, and they're designed to fight alongside drones.
An experimental version of the plane has secretly been flying for almost 5 years, and we're confident that it massively overpowers the capabilities of any other nation.
This comes as the President and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth denied reports that Elon Musk would be briefed on plans for a potential war with China. Still to come tonight on News 3 Now at 5:30, Alex tells us about a cooler weekend ahead and changing Wisconsin's legal system, the new proposal making it hard to prosecute police officers. That's next.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. For the families of those who are shot by police officers, they may seek to hold those police officers accountable if their district attorney decides not to file charges. The family members may feel like they've hit a stone wall, but a little-known provision in state law allows families to go directly to a judge to ask for charges to be filed. But that could be taken away under a new bill. Political reporter Will Keneally is here with the details. Will?
Well,
That's right, Susan. These types of filings are called John Doe proceedings. Now, the families would have to show a judge that they have tried to get a prosecutor to take the case and that a prosecutor has declined. Now, they don't have to prove the crime actually happened outright, just that there's probable cause that the crime was committed. Now, some advocates say that this is an important piece of Wisconsin's justice system.
It has sort of the nickname of the people's law.
Jessa Nicholson should know. She's the attorney that filed one of the few John Doe proceedings that we've seen here in Dane County in the last decade.
So the John Doe laws were designed to say, well, hey, wait a minute. We as the people feel that there should be a prosecution here, and you're not looking at it.
It takes the decision out of the hands of one person, a county's district attorney, and gives it to the people. When Dane County DA Ishmael Ozan declined to prosecute the officer who shot and killed Tony Robinson, Nicholson helped his family file one of those proceedings, which she says was helpful for the healing process.
I do think that there was some value to being able to go through that process, even if you don't end up with a conviction.
A new Republican bill would do away with the ability for families like Tony Robinson's from filing these proceedings against law enforcement officers specifically.
The ride-alongs I've had with law enforcement, this has been a significant issue, not only for their determining whether they're going to stay in law enforcement or not.
The bill would, however, allow John Doe proceedings to go forward if there was new evidence introduced at a later date. Members of the law enforcement community say this second check is not needed.
We don't think that it's appropriate for someone to try and go around the district attorney and go to a potentially friendly judge when we really do have this wonderful, thorough, and independent investigative process here in the state.
What the Republicans are doing here is they're carving out a special exemption. So if you kill someone, whether on purpose or by accident, the only way that you're protected from a potential John Doe proceeding is if you're a law enforcement officer. Now, to me, that makes no sense.
Democrats pushed back against the bill, which ultimately cleared the state Senate this week. Advocates say, though, it's important for victims' families to have that day in court.
Anytime you take away somebody's access to that day, I think it makes our democracy a little less vivid, a little less vibrant, a little less meaningful.
Now, as mentioned, that bill is working through the state legislature. It cleared the Senate this week, now heading to the state assembly.
We'll continue to follow it, Will. Thank you. Now let's head back over to Alex with a look at the weekend forecast. Big cool down this weekend.
We got a cool down on the way. It starts with a few showers tonight out ahead of that cold front. Saturday and Saturday night dry, but it will be cool. And Sunday, well, just a couple degrees warmer than Saturday, but we're going to have plenty of rain shower activity in southern Wisconsin. Mild out there right now, 57 in Madison, 48 in Camp Douglas, and 57 to the south in Monroe. Zooming on in here to Dane County, 58 in Oregon. It was 60 in Middleton not too long ago. You're down to 58, but these temperatures are a good 10 degrees above normal for this time of year. Enter a shower as we plan our evening. By the time we get to 9 o'clock, temperatures will be right around 45. As we get into the early morning hours of Saturday, the skies will start to clear out. And as I always say, when skies clear, the heat can go out to space, and we're going to have a cold start to Saturday morning. But those showers precede that cold air, and they are just to the northwest up towards La Crosse and Black River Falls. They'll be sliding to the south and towards the east. Could even have a couple showers now developing here in southwest Wisconsin out ahead of that cold front as we use Future Track here. Showers, they're few and far between, maybe a little bit more concentrated, a little bit more widespread, just east and southeast of Madison as that cold front gets its act together. Behind it, it's going to be much colder tomorrow morning. Upper teens to lower 20s to start off Saturday morning, but the winds will ease up and we'll see a high of about 40 just about anywhere in southern Wisconsin. So sunny, 40 for a high temperature Saturday, and I'll move out of the way here so you can see Sunday. Here's that temperature, just a couple degrees warmer at 49. Plenty of showers, breezy conditions. Can't rule out a little bit of a wet mix of snow, which we see here on Future Track. By the time we get into the afternoon, look how widespread the greens and the pinks and even some blues are across southern Wisconsin. Those blues and the pinks, that's the mix up towards the Dells, up towards Wautoma, Camp Douglas, Adams County, Marquette, Green Lake. You could see a little bit of slushy snow accumulation. Overall water amounts, actually this is just updated in good news, 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. That's up from about 1/4 to 1/2 inch that we were showing in some of our earlier newscasts, which is good. We need all those raindrops, and the snow not looking like heavy snow, maybe just a dusting. perhaps an inch of that slushy stuff north up towards Marquette, Green Lake, Juneau, and Adams counties. We can't get rid of the wind. It's been a windy fall, windy winter, and now here we're starting off spring. Nice and windy too, gusting to 40 miles per hour on Sunday with that weather system. We got the big game tomorrow. We all know that. I'll step out of the way here so you can enjoy the forecast. 40 in Madison. Winds will ease up, so that's good. 65 in Denver. The winds are not going to ease up in Denver. They're going to be gusting at times to 30 miles per hour. After our weather system Sunday and Monday, a dry stretch, and then we're looking at a period of wet weather and breezy conditions next weekend. Now, we had a big visit today from our friends at Monona Grove Liberal Arts Charter School for the 21st. We give them a little wave here. Give them a wave on the other side of the camera as you see them in your TV. 40 students came today and they got to see behind the scenes at Channel 3. They got to have a chat with Susan and with Jalen and with Maddie and with our producers, directors, and amazing operational folks that get us on air every day. Thank you so much for stopping by, folks. And we have sports in just a couple minutes.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Well, we are just about 24 hours away now from the third-seeded Badgers' second-round matchup against the sixth-seeded BYU Cougars. News 3 is the only local station covering the Badgers out west in Denver. Our Zach Hanley and Armand Rahman are in the Mile High City just after a Badgers press conference today. Zach, the waiting is the hardest part. You feeling the same way?
Yeah, I mean, but also there's that excitement, and that might be an understatement because the Badgers are playing for a spot in the Sweet 16 for the first time in a long time. The last time Wisconsin reached the Sweet 16 was 2017, and to get there, they're going to have to play their best basketball of the season, and the Badgers know it. The Cougars, well, they're all locked in on them, their opponent. You know, the Cougars, they've won 10 of their last 11 games, and while waiting for the tip-off is in their biggest game of their life up to this point, the guys did say that they have let their mind wander just a bit on what it would be like to advance to the Sweet 16.
That's definitely our goal as a team. We know that's what we're capable of. So we've looked forward to it. We know that's where we want to go, but at the same time, we're locked in, and we know we can't get there without living in the moment and getting a win against BYU first. So mine went there a little bit, but locked in on the moment right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to think about going to the Sweet 16, but we got a really good BYU team that we got to face first and get past them. So it'll be a great test for us, and we know that they'll have a strong fan support, being how close they are, and hopefully Badger fans show up for us too. But no, obviously Sweet 16 has a nice ring to it.
Nolan is right. Sweet 16 does have a nice ring to it. And I asked Kamari McGee his thoughts of if he even thought about that. He looked at me deadpan and said no. And then, of course, a huge smile came across his face. So obviously the guys are excited. They're loose, and they just can't wait for game time. Live in Denver, Zach Hanley, News 3 Sports.
It is very exciting. Zach, thank you so much. Also in Badger sports, the Wisconsin women's hockey team is skating toward an 8th national title, but a face-off in the Frozen Four against an old rival stands in the way. Our Andrew Banstra is in Minneapolis with a look at tonight's game.
As Mark Johnson told me, games like tonight's are the reason that you do the job. A border battle bigger than ever before, with a trip to Sunday's national championship game on the line. Wisconsin has already played and defeated Minnesota 5 times this year, so Johnson doesn't want them to change anything now. His message to his team is to clear your mind and find that flow state.
For upperclassmen, they may never get that opportunity again, and so why not enjoy it? Put a smile on your face, go on the ice, and let everything go and play to win. And again, it's trying to get into that space, and it's easy to talk about, but it's hard to do. And so, am I nervous? You know, you can have butterflies, that's okay, but you know, when you go on the ice, it's just like, boom. Try to get in the zone.
After falling short in the national title game last year, this year's Wisconsin team has had their eyes set on one thing, getting back to that mountaintop. But to get there, they've got to first handle business tonight, right here on the Gophers' home ice. At Ritter Arena, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Sports.
Best of luck to the Badgers tonight.
Yep,
so exciting.
indeed.
Stressful.
Yes.
And the weekend is almost here.
It is just hours away, and look at our forecast. Madison and Denver. 40 in Madison tomorrow, sunny skies. Take note the wind, northwest at 5 to 10, so pretty light wind. So we'll trade in the cool temperatures with the sunny skies. Denver, 65, really windy conditions. And after we have our weather system on Sunday, dry weather for a part of next week.
All right, thank you, Alex. Thanks for watching, everybody. Enjoy the basketball. Have a great weekend.